Jacquelyn Cornier, founder and digital creator of The Girls Room, a startup media company that empowers women to discover their passions, share their stories, and embody their truths in the digital age. It's a multimedia hub for women, by women. Join me as we take a closer look into her story to unlock the hidden gems and everyday inspirations. Here's Off the Cuff with Jacquelyn Cornier. Well, I'm excited to have you on the show. I really appreciate you making some time.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. It's been a rough journey, as a creative. So to be in this space, it's like refreshing.
Absolutely.
So thank you for having me.
And thank you for, joining us today. And of course, that's what we'll discuss, more about the hidden gems.
Yeah.
More about what about that process really molded you to who you are today. And, I'm just excited to learn more about it.
Thank you.
But you're from Brooklyn, right?
Yes.
So tell me about the significance of Brooklyn and how was that for you growing up?
Brooklyn is everything to me. I was born and raised in Brooklyn. I moved to Queens. But even when I was living in Queens, my mom made it her business to bring us to the best schools in Brooklyn. So I honestly just rested my head in Queens. I never hung out in Queens, nothing, to be honest. Yeah. And even more so now, it's still the same thing,
Absolutely.
So yeah, Brooklyn is everything to me. It brought me up. It taught me everything that I know now. The hustle. I moved around a lot in Brooklyn growing up due to financial things with my family. And so I know a lot about Brooklyn in different parts. So yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about that hustle mentality.
Yeah.
Was there a specific moment where you feel like it brought you to that hustle and really craving to get more of that?
Yeah, I think that seeing what my mom did for me and my siblings to make sure that we had a good education taught me that hustle mentality. Just to see her wake up super early in the morning. We would leave our house at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and just to drive an hour and change with traffic just to bring us to school, And so that already instilled so much of a hustle mentality and showed me that anything is possible. And if it takes a longer time to get there, then, if it's worth it, then you do it. So I think that really instilled the hustle mentality for me, just going through that journey every single day, waking up early every single day. I think that's why I'm an early bird now, you know what I mean?
That explains it,
I had to wake up super early every day. And even on the weekends, I had to wake up early because I had dance, I had lacrosse, I had basketball, and that was all in Brooklyn.
Wow, look at that. And you also mentioned that you moved around a lot.
Yeah.
For financial circumstances and stuff.
Yeah.
Tell me about just the shift in that. Obviously, tell me about the shift into that.
I feel like my parents, I would say, definitely made sure that me and my siblings had a roof over our head. And I remember my dad was laid off, and this was during a really rough time. A lot of people were losing their jobs during this time. I remember it. And my mom got accepted into housing, public housing. And I remember her being so grateful for it. Wow. And I didn't understand what it was, or I had no idea, right? But we went to go visit it, and this was in Far Rockaway in Queens, Redfern housing. I remember just being ungrateful and not understanding as a child, why do we have to move again and why here? Because our apartments and stuff was nice, and I felt like this just wasn't matching up to what we where we were, and it just wasn't making sense. How do you go from this to now here? Yeah. And I think obviously as a kid, your parents are gonna tell you everything. Yeah. But because I was a little bit older, I remember my mom saying, it's either this or a shelter. You pick one. And so she snapped because she was just I'm doing my best as a parent to make sure that you have a roof over your head. And obviously that wasn't her priority. That wasn't her first decision. She didn't want to be there, but it kind of, felt like she had no choice. She had 3 kids to take care of. Yeah. What is she gonna do? And so moving there definitely changed my life. I say for the better though. My family still lives there, and my goal is to get them out of that environment And I'm very grateful that I have been able to do that for myself, just because, and sometimes I feel guilty of it, but I've learned that you can't help others until you help yourself. And so we're almost there.
Yeah.
But my mom grew up in housing. Marlboro Project, I don't know. It's in Coney Island. My mom grew up in Coney Island in the projects. And so for her, it was just like, I guess, regular thing. But for me, it was another shock.
Yeah.
And that's why she made sure that she drove us so far to the best schools, because in that area, it was not good. And I just want people who are in that environment to know that they matter. Because for me, like I said, I just rested my head there, but there are people who don't just rest their head there. You know, that is everything to them. That is where they hang out, that's their community, that's their culture, that's how they were raised. And I can understand and I see how people can be wrapped up in the stereotypes that are put on them because they are in those circumstances.
Right.
But those people probably didn't ask to be in those circumstances, and I hope that with the people that we're electing and just like everything that's going on, that they do take care of those types of communities because they matter.
Absolutely.
And a lot of the people who live there are people of color. And that just goes back to, you know, my mom having to drive me so far.
Right.
Like, there's no reason why that should happen to anyone. You know what I mean? And I think that seeing that at a young age, it just made me grind harder. Like, I just knew I wasn't meant to be in that space. And I say that respectfully, you know, because again, my family is still there.
Yeah.
But I always felt like, this is not it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I knew that from a very young age that I just deserved better. My family deserved better. The people who lived next door to me deserved better. And I still feel like that. The living circumstances there is not the greatest. And to be in that environment and not have the resources that you see other people have, you know?
Absolutely.
And I think that's why I also felt out of place when I went to Frank Sinatra. Because here I am traveling from a low income community to then be surrounded by rich kids who don't get it, you know?
Right.
And I didn't feel seen. And so, yeah, I feel like living in the projects half of my life has definitely instilled a different type of hunger, and it can't be bought, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you said it perfectly, and I appreciate you sharing that. And for your mom tuning in, let's say she's tuning in today, what would you say to her?
Thank you. I'm gonna get emotional. Just like, thank you for everything. Thank you for like putting us first. I know it's not easy, and like even now when I look back at things, I'm just like, damn, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I work and I do TGR and I don't complain about it, or like if my schedule is busy, I don't complain about it, because I have seen my mom work 2 jobs and raise 3 kids and still like put a smile on her face and still make it happen, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm very, very appreciative of her. She is my angel, my queen, my everything.
Absolutely.
So I'm so grateful for her, and I promise I will do everything to make her happy.
Absolutely. Amen to that. And shout out to your mom for holding it down and
you.
stuff. You created a successful multimedia and entertainment hub for women by women called the Girls Room.
Yes.
Tell me more about the inspiration behind that.
Yeah, I think that after I graduated from UA, I was often looking for outlets to feel inspired and to have that motivation. And I couldn't find it. You know, I found like little snippets, little pieces, but there were often platforms that were dedicated to only one specific type of girl. And like I said, I am, you know, Puerto Rican and French, and I used to have curly hair, but I dye it so much, you know what I mean? So there were platforms that were like for only curly hair girls, or only Latinas, or petite girls. I even saw a handle that was like petite women or something along those lines. Yeah.
Wow.
And this was after I graduated from UA. I did my research and I couldn't find what I was looking for. And I was just like, why do women have to be categorized, or why do we have to be limited to one type of, you know, space? And why is it that not all women can feel welcome?
Right.
And at Frank Sinatra, I felt like that. And I didn't want that for what I was trying to look for. And so I created the Girls Room to resolve those types of issues that other women may be feeling, because I know I'm not the only one, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, we're all so different. We have different passions, we have different stories, we have different aspirations.
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, we're still women, and we deserve to be recognized and to feel safe and to feel recognized, like, as a whole, you know?
Absolutely.
So that's why I created it, and my entire journey, my childhood, my passion, everything is really a full picture of what TGR is now.
Absolutely, and I appreciate you being so transparent, and you could definitely feel the ambition and hunger into TGR acronym, right?
Yeah.
For the girls' room. So when you have women coming onto this hub of information, of inspiration, what do you hope these women really take out of this hub?
I hope that women feel like the opportunities are endless, because after you graduate from college, or even if you don't go to college, you feel me? It can feel discouraging when you're applying to places and they're like, we're moving on to the next candidate, and it just keeps happening and happening and happening. You start to feel like, is it me? Like, what is it that I'm not bringing to the table?
Right.
But I want these women to know that, like, their passion, their skill sets, and what they want to do is so possible, regardless of what these big corporations may think, or if they don't accept them. Like, I want them to know that the girls' room accepts them, you know what I mean? Like, I pay that opportunity forward with my team now. I have a team of women, 10 women, who have been working with me for the past 3 years.
Wow.
And they all came on after they graduated college. Some didn't go to college either, and that's fine.
Wow.
And I don't think that, you know, they're any less of a value than someone who went to college. And I think that's really important to show within my platform, that everyone is accepted regardless of their education level, regardless of their passion and things like that, and their overall mission.
Absolutely. I feel that a lot. And, you know, you talked about inspiration. Your mother was a big inspirational part to your life. Who are some other women that inspire you currently?
I think right now my inspiration is the people that I surround myself with in this current stage in my life. My team. I think my team is probably my biggest inspiration to this day, because they're all so freaking talented, and they give so much, you know.
Wow.
So they're my inspiration for real. Yeah.
And let's focus on your team really quick.
Yeah.
What about them you value the most?
I value their time. I think time is so precious.
Right.
You know, how you decide to use your time is so important. And the fact that they're choosing to be at the girls' room, to be a part of this, to be a part of something bigger than me, bigger than themselves, it's so big, you know? And I just appreciate their dedication and their talent. Like, they're so freaking talented, and I'm so grateful for all of them, because I feel like they're hidden gems. Like, I found them, and I'm so happy I have them.
That's beautiful. That's amazing to me. And it's one of those things where, like, you know, when you have an idea, when you have a business, obviously, you know, you're an entrepreneur, you're a creator. You always need that support from your team.
Yeah.
You know, and you always learn from so many people around you. And like you said, I love how you said, you're learning and the inspiration from there. You value their time, and there's so many things that you can learn from each other.
Yeah.
But one thing I want to focus on that I want to hear more about is, what did you learn about yourself going through the process of creating the girls' room?
That's a great question. I love that question. I think that what I've learned is that I can't do it all by myself. I started the girls' room with the idea that I could do it all by myself. And I did for a while. And shout out to my brother and sister who have also helped me, because I have to give that credit. But I've learned that I cannot do it all by myself, and it's okay to ask for help. I think as an independent woman, and with the hustle mentality of, you know, that I have, and the experiences I've had growing up, I've learned to do everything alone. And so when building this platform, I learned that I can't do it by myself, and it's okay to ask for help.
That's beautiful. And look at that, you've managed to ask for help in ways where it's TGR is just soaring. And that's really, really powerful. Did you ever feel like, did you ever feel like quitting?
Yes. Yeah.
What got you through it?
I think praying on it. Praying and also reflecting. I think that going back to the original stages of the girls' room, right? Like looking at like old footage, It used to take me hours to record just like one snippet.
Tell me about
like,
it.
My brother used to be like, honestly, like, no, this is the last one. Like, this is the last one. And so I just feel like, okay. But yeah, I definitely have felt, I don't want to use the word quitting, but I have felt discouraged. And I felt like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this the right way to do things? Because again, like you said, it was just an idea, right? But now it's like, I have a team. Yeah. It's LLC. Like, there's just so much more that it has grown into, that at some point you have to sit back and be like, what do I do now? Because there's no manual to it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the first to do something like this within my family. I can't turn to someone and say, like, how do I do this? They're not going to say, oh, you do step one, step two, you know what I mean? So just learning and just like reflecting on everything has allowed me to push forward, and to pray on it has allowed me to push forward, and has just assured me that I'm doing the right thing. So yeah, I think I have felt discouraged and felt like quitting at some point, or just being like, okay, I don't know if this is really it. Right. And then also my team now, and yeah, my team definitely makes me feel like this is it.
Absolutely. I mean, and shout outs to the team though,
because
you know, they're definitely doing everything possible to keep the train going. And with your team, what do you hope they get from you?
Yeah, I hope that they learn how to be a leader, and I hope that the opportunities that I put forward to them, that they then push forward for someone else, and look out for each other. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, I think I have shown that I often look to the right and left of me and not always ahead, because there's so many talented people around me and around them. And I hope that they continue to align with that. And I hope that they continue to make me proud.
Absolutely. Oh, you talked about, you know, keeping the girls' room alive in your team. What's next for the girls' room? What's ahead?
Right now, there's a lot. Like, so many things just came to my mind. I just brought on an editor for the girls' room, so our community can expect like more relatable and fun articles that they want to read. So I'm really excited for that. I just brought her on.
Congrats.
Her name is
to
Ashley
the both.
Gray.
Yeah, to
Thank
the both
you. She's based out in LA, which I'm really excited about, because I do want to continuously expand where our supporters lie. They can definitely expect more interviews with artists. I'm working very closely with Atlantic Records to highlight some of their artists. I don't want to spill who yet,
okay.
But we just interviewed Ivy J, who is only 18 years old. Wow. And she's such an amazing R&B artist. She just dropped her EP, Fifth Element, so shout outs to her. Videos on YouTube. Yeah, we just have a lot rolling, and we're just pushing, and we're supporting each other. We're listening to each other. I think right now we have transitioned from being a blog to more of a business.
Absolutely. And
I think that shows so much growth. So right now our teams are editorial, production, events, and design.
Okay. And
so with production, we're starting to push out like our own series and things like that will be coming soon. And just like more community work. In the past, we've done a lot of photo shoots and things like that with people who support TGR, because it's important to show them that the opportunity is there, you know what I mean? Like, they can be a part of this. So with production, there's going to be a lot of work coming.
Look at that. So where can we find more on this information? Like, is it a IG website? Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so I would say our primary community is on Instagram.
Okay.
And that's at The Girls Room NYC. Our website is thegirlsroom.com, and then YouTube, The Girls Room channel. So,
you know, for the women who are tuning in all over the world, from all ages, all backgrounds today, what advice would you share with them?
The advice that I would share with them is to not get too wrapped up in what other people are doing. I think that, especially in this day and age, people are looking at what other people are doing, you know what I mean? Right. Like, oh, I should be there, I should be doing this, or if someone gets an opportunity, they feel like a sense of like envy and things like that. And I think it's important to know that there really is no competition besides yourself, you know? Yeah. And if there's always room for anybody, like there's room for everybody, there's room for you, and there's no reason to feel less than that. And for me personally, I always struggled with, and I think I spoke to you about this a little bit during our meeting, is that I always struggled with what my passion is, and what am I going to do as like when I get older, what is my career going to look like? And I had no idea. Yeah. I had no freaking idea. And I think that when I finally sat down and reflected and I used a whiteboard to write down all my ideas, it's like, oh my God, like all the things that I'm doing right now with the girls' room has been in front of my face my entire life. Like entertainment. A lot of my friends are in entertainment, are amazing artists. And I used to spend hours and days after school watching them perform and practice. Dance has been something so big in my life, design, through like art classes, and everything was just right in front of me. Wow. So I think it's important that if you feel the struggle and you're not sure like what your future is gonna hold, is to really reflect on what your journey has been up until this day. Wow. What have you done so far that you have enjoyed, and really look back at that. I think a lot of people when I was growing up, especially my teachers, would say, well, no, you have to do like one thing. Like you have to just pick one thing. And when I was creating the girls' room, I felt like that because that's what I was told. But now if you look at the girls' room, we do so many things, and that's because I didn't listen to those people and I embodied everything I wanted. And so I think, you know, if you want to do more than one thing, you can do that. If you want to be an artist during the day, but a lawyer tomorrow, like you can do that. Right. So yeah, you don't have to pick more like one thing. You can do whatever you want.
Look at that. And that's such a beautiful way to transition and kind of conclude our conversation. To me, you know, I hear the inspiration, I hear the passion, I hear the hunger. And of course, TGR has started, like you said, initially started as an idea. It's made its way through every sector of the business to do production, design, and many other ventures that you're going to keep capitalizing on, to now just hiring an editor. So I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best for the upcoming event as well.
Thanks.
But before we wrap up, I'm incorporating this new segment onto the show.
Okay.
It's a new segment called Hidden Gems.
Ooh.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask a variety of questions.
Okay.
Right? And all you have to do is answer as quick as you can within 30 seconds. Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set my timer.
I'm excited.
Here. I'm excited too. Honestly, me too. So I'm gonna set my timer for 30 seconds. Okay. And it's gonna be straight off the cuff.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Timer's on. Air Force Ones or Air Max?
Ooh, Air Force Ones.
Favorite R&B song?
Right now, Beautiful by Queen Naja.
Spotify or Apple?
Ooh, I just downloaded Spotify. I'm gonna go with Apple though.
Okay. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Ooh, beautiful, independent, strong.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee for sure.
What's one item you can never live without?
My phone.
Favorite female artist right now?
Queen Naja.
Win the lottery or get your dream job?
Win the lottery.
Which celebrity does your style resonate with the most?
Tiana Taylor.
When are you most productive?
At night.
Favorite book?
The Secret.
The Secret is good. That was good. In one word, what does success mean to you?
Being happy and at peace.
At peace. That was a few more words, but no, we'll let it rock. Well, Jacquelyn, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. I'm excited again to learn more about you. You know, it's been incredible to just see the growth over the years. And of course, I wish you all the best with the girls' room and of course to your team in your future endeavors. So thank you again for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And that was Off the Cuff with Jacquelyn Cornier.